Hi everyone, so for those of you who've watched my videos for a long time, you will probably recognise immediately from this setup that I am at home and not at university. And that is true, I am at home and not at university. And the reason for that is, unfortunately, on Tuesday night I had the news that we had lost a very close family member. But yes, so myself and all of the bunnies have been at home since Tuesday, Wednesday, and will probably be here till Sunday. So yeah, we are at home and that is why. And I thought I would make a video today because I was going to take a break from YouTube, but I realised that the person I lost would not want me to sit around moping and crying and being upset. She would tell me to pull myself together and stop being a baby. So that is what I'm doing, and I am making a video today, little updates and some questions from a Q&A that I asked for on Facebook. So again, those of you who have me on Facebook and those of you who will have read the title will know that I have a new pet, and I do have a new bunny. His name is Teddy and he's currently recovering from his neuter that he had yesterday, so I won't drag him up here to show you because he'll probably be grumpy at me, but I will insert a picture now. He is around 4 years old and he is a dwarf lop. I actually got him on Tuesday before I had the awful news about my family member. And so for that reason I'm going to be celebrating his birthday on that day, which was the 18th of February, because I think it's a nice way to honour the person that I lost, and also I genuinely don't know his real birthday. All I know is that he was born, that he's 4, that's all I know. So he will be 5 on the 18th of February 2015. But anyway, I have my Q&A questions on my phone and I will get started now. Okay, so Becky from Coco and the Crazy Cabby says, who was your first bunny? And my first bunny was called Pepsi and he was a Netherland dwarf and he was from the RSPCA. She also asks, why did you get your bunnies? My parents bought Pepsi for, well, they didn't buy him, he was from the RSPCA, but my parents rescued Pepsi for me and my younger brother because they thought we could do with the responsibility of a pet and learning some responsibility and how to take care of another animal. But after Pepsi we didn't have any other pets other than a few hamsters until I was 11, and for my 11th birthday I really wanted a rabbit. She also says, why are your bunnies so cute? I don't know, they're just made like that, I guess. I get that comment a lot, that I have particularly cute bunnies, so I'm glad you all think that. Then she asks, what are you studying at university? I study history. Originally I did do English literature combined with history, but I changed my mind. And then her final question is, what is your dream job? My dream job doesn't exist because I have no idea what I want to do when I'm older. Amy from the Bunny Shed 1 asks, what do you like most about owning rabbits? I don't really know, there's just something about them, like their characters are so endearing, and once you have one you just have to get more. Then she asks, what are your, oops, I can't read. She asks, who are your closest YouTube friends? And my closest YouTube friends are probably her, Steph from Steph's Pet Care, or Stephanie's Pet Care. I don't know, those are the two I probably talk to the most. Then she asks, if you could do one job for one day, what would it be? I don't really like jobs. I've always had a job since I was 14, but I really do hate work, and so I can't even think of a job I would want to do for one. Lucy from Lucy1666, but I think her channel name has changed now, I just can't remember it off the top of my head. She's put, what pet would you like in the future? In future I would really like my own dog, or 2, probably 2, because I will be working full time and I don't want to leave it by itself. But yeah, probably a dog, and when and if one of the bunnies passes, which I hope isn't for years and years and years, But when that happens, I would like to get a French lock, and then I would feel like my life was complete. She also says, are you going to bond all 5 bunnies together when you get your dream setup? Basically what she means by dream setup, I think, is that my dad is supposed to be building me an enclosure for the bunnies when I come home from university permanently in April. And if I could bond all 5 bunnies together, that would make my life massively easier, because I wouldn't have to compromise on space and try and separate the enclosure and all of that jazz. But I don't think it will ever happen. Tulip from Pet Care Info UK says, do you prefer rabbits or guinea pigs, and why? Personally, I prefer rabbits just because they've always been my pet of choice, but I do love guinea pigs as well, and if it ever got to a point where I didn't have any rabbits anymore, I may have a herd of female guinea pigs instead, because I do love them. She said, favourite dog breed? My favourite dog breed is definitely anything that is a spaniel. Springer Spaniels and Cocker Spaniels are my favourite. Mika's Critters, who is the hamster ninja on YouTube, has said, which rabbit is Grumpy McGrump? And that is definitely what's it. She is Grumpy McGrump all the time. She just, oh, she's a nightmare. Laura's Pet says, what is your favourite makeup brand? My favourite makeup brand is probably Rimmel or Revlon. She's also said Dream Job, I really don't know. And Dream Place to Live. This sounds really boring, but I will probably always live in the town that I live in now. Ellie Walker says, what are your favourite hobbies? I love to read, I love music, and I love scrapbooking. Who are your favourite bands or favourite singer? I do love music, I listen to quite a lot of genres, but I just don't have a favourite. At the moment, my guilty pleasure is the One Direction Take Me Home album and the Midnight Memories album. Dream holiday destination. Well, next year my boyfriend and I are hoping to travel around South America, so that at the moment is my dream holiday destination, but whether or not I will save enough money to be able to go is an entirely different story. Starbucks or Costa? Definitely Starbucks, which I know is bad because they don't support like the troops or anything, and they're quite like, I want to say stuck up. They are kind, as a brand, they're quite stuck up, but I just prefer their drinks and I prefer their food. I always have. Leah Moore from, I think her channel's Leah's Pet Shed, I'm not sure. She says, which bunny do you have the closest bond to? And this is really hard for me because I love them all exactly the same amount, but for different reasons. Abby Green Colton says, which bunny is the naughtiest? What's it? Definitely. She's always somewhere where she shouldn't be, but Pud is a close second. Heather Robertson says, what are your favourite movies and favourite books? My favourite film, oh gosh, that's so hard. I hate this question. I always get this question and I never know what the answer is. My favourite books are definitely the Harry Potter books. I also love anything by Philippa Gregory, who writes historical fiction. But my 2 most favourite books, which is totally cliche and everyone says this, and I'm pretty sure people say this even when they haven't read the books, but The Fault in Our Stars by John Green and The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. Those 2 books are just incredible, and if you haven't read them, please do. They're both quite sad, but, well, one of them's very sad, but they're just one of those books that you have to read as a teenager. She also asks, if you had a day to yourself with no obligations, what would you do? I cannot remember the last time I had a day to myself with no obligations. University will do that to you. But if I had a day with no obligations, I would probably sleep until about 10 so I didn't waste too much of the day. Have a fry-up for breakfast, like full-on fry-up. Sit around and read for quite a while. Have a cuddle with the bunnies. Take the dog for a really, really long walk, like through the woods near my house. Come back, have a fat roast dinner for dinner. Oh, roast dinner, so good. And then I would probably watch a film like Gone with the Wind. I haven't been able to watch for ages because it just takes up too much time. And then I'd have a bubble bath with candles and music playing, and then I would have a big mug of hot chocolate, and then I'd go to bed. And I think that would be a perfect day, and I think maybe the first day of the summer holidays I might have to have that day because That sounds pretty good. And then the final two questions are questions that I approve of. Heidi Lee has said Twilight or The Hunger Games. A few years ago I would have said Twilight, but now I'm definitely in The Hunger Games. And then she says, in The Hunger Games, are you Team Peter or are you Team Gale? Now, I don't want to give this away for anyone who has not read the books yet or who hasn't seen the films yet, but I'm definitely Team Gale, I really am, and I just think they would have been a much better couple. As much as I think Peter is great, I'm definitely Team Gale. Okay, so those are all the questions I got asked. I hope this video wasn't too long and boring for you, but I love Q&As, and leave comments down below of any questions you have so that next time I do a Q&A I can come back to this video and have a look-see at the comments. Yeah, I will see you all very soon. I hope you're all well.